Welcome to Prime Care e-learning platform, Nurturing for Excellence.
Hello, in our lesson today we'll be discussing about the compounds of sulfur. Now, at the end of this lesson, you should be able to outline some of the compounds of sulfur and also explain the industrial preparation of sulfuric acid and also outline the uses of sulfuric acid. Let's start the lesson properly. One of the compounds of sulfur is hydrogen sulfide. Hydrogen sulfide is a natural occurring gas produced by decaying animal and vegetable substances, especially those of high protein content. Hydrogen sulfide is also released into the atmosphere during combustion of coal. Now, number two is sulfur 4 oxide. Sulfur 4 oxide is usually present, I beg your pardon, is usually present in volcanic gases and in the waters of certain sulfur springs. Coal, which contains sulfur in combined form, produces sulfur 4 oxide when burned. The substantial amount of sulfur 4 oxide in the atmosphere is one of the major causes of acidic rain. Due to the presence of sulfur 4 oxide in the atmosphere, we do experience acidic rain. So the next is tetrahydrosulfate 6 acid. Tetrahydrosulfate 6 acid is one of the most important chemical compounds known. It is very commonly used in the laboratory, and also every manufacturing process makes use of this acid directly or indirectly at some stage, and it is nicknamed the king of acids. All right, so the next thing we're going to discuss about now is the industrial preparation of tetraoxosulfate 6 acid. Now, in the world, tetraoxosulfate 6 acid is produced in the industry using the contact process. Now, in this process or in this reaction, the main stage of this reaction is the catalytic combination of sulfur 4 oxide and oxygen to form sulfur trioxide or sulfate. I'm going to explain this in four stages or 4 steps. Now let's start with stage 1. The stage 1 is the sulfur combustion furnace. Now in this furnace, this is where sulfur is heated in the presence of air or oxygen to form sulfur 4 oxide. Now, when sulfur is heated in the presence of oxygen, sulfur 4 oxide is formed and is being channeled to the second stage, which is the purifier and the dryer stage. Now, the purifier and the dryer chamber or stage, in this purifier and dryer chamber, sulfur 4 oxide is being purified and the impurities are being removed and it is being dried. You dry it to remove all the moisture coming with it from the combustion furnace. Now, it is then being transferred to the catalyst chamber. The catalyst chamber contains a catalyst called vanadium pentaoxide. Now, in this catalyst chamber, the sulfur 4 oxide is heated to a temperature of about 450 degrees Celsius in the presence of the catalyst vanadium pentaoxide. Then this sulfur trioxide is being released when that reaction takes place or liberated. Then sulfur trioxide is then collected to the contact tower or absorption tower. In this tower, The sulfur trioxide is sprayed with H2SO4, concentrated H2SO4. When it is being sprayed, oleum is being formed. The substance that is formed or compound that is formed is called oleum. Now, this oleum is collected and dissolved with water, with appropriate amount of water to give you your 98% sulfuric acid. Now, let's talk about the uses of concentrated H2SO4, which is sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is used in making cellulose film, natural and artificial fabrics, as well as plastics. Sulfuric acid is also used in the manufacture of paints and pigments. Sulfuric acid is used as an electrolyte in car batteries and accumulators. Sulfuric acid is also used to clean or pickle metals before electroplating. Then, number five is that sulfuric acid is used in the manufacture of fertilizer. Number six is it is used in removing impurities from crude oil. Now, let's take a quick review of what we have learned. We were able to outline some of the compounds of sulfur, which will say that one of the compounds of sulfur is hydrogen sulfide. And hydrogen sulfide is a naturally occurring gas produced by decaying animal and vegetable substance, especially those of high protein content. Then we also discuss about sulfur 4 oxide. We'll say sulfur 4 oxide is usually present in volcanic gases and in the water of certain sulfur springs. And we'll say a substantial amount of sulfur 4 oxide present in the atmosphere causes what we call acid rain. Then we have tetraoxosulfate 6 acid, and we'll say tetraoxosulfate 6 acid is one of the most important chemical compound known. It is very commonly used in the laboratory, and almost every manufacturing process make use of this acid directly or indirectly at some stage. Now, we also explain the industrial preparation of tetraoxosulfate 6 acid, and which will say this process, this industrial preparation undergoes 4 stages, and the stage include the combustion furnace stage, where sulfur is burned in the presence of air to produce sulfur 4 oxide, and this sulfur 4 oxide is then purified and dry in the purifier and dryer chamber, and is then transferred to the catalyst chamber, where it is heated to about a temperature of 450 degrees Celsius in the presence of a catalyst called vanadium pentaoxide. And during this process, sulfur trioxide is formed, and this sulfur trioxide is being transferred or channeled to the contact tower. And this contact tower or absorption tower is where this sulfur trioxide is being sprayed with concentrated H2SO4 to form oleum, and oleum is collected and dissolved with appropriate amount of water to form 98% H2SO4. Then we also outlined some uses of sulfuric acid, which will say one of the uses is that it is used to remove impurities from crude oil. It is used in the manufacture of fertilizer. It's also used to clean or pickle metals before electroplating. And we also say it is used as an electrolyte in car batteries and accumulators. And we say that it is also used in the manufacture of paint and pigment. It's also used in making cellular film, natural and artificial fabrics, as well as plastics. So your assignment is to explain the industrial preparation of sulfuric acid. Thank you. Till we see again in the next lesson. Stay safe